This video is brought to you by the 3-Minute Board Game patrons. Keep us independent by supporting us on Patreon. Kia ora koutou, and welcome to Tokaido in about 3 minutes. Review copy used. Matsuri expansion as well. It has no solo mode. It's a game for 2 to 5 players, playing time is short, and it's a pretty simple game. It is the Edo period in Japan, and you are a traveler setting out from Kyoto to Edo on the Tokaido road. Will you have the most pleasant journey possible? The game ends once all players have arrived at the final inn. The winner is the player with the most journey points, which you get from a bunch of sources. Just look for the knapsack. Action selection. Each turn you will move to a location further down the road. Variable player powers. Each traveler has unique powers, and the expansion contains even more travelers. Player turn. Select the player color and one of the characters to play as. Slot your color marker into the character board. Place your scoring marker at the top of the track and randomly place your meeple and all others on the start like so. Each player also claims starting coins shown on the top right of their board. The player at the back of the line takes their turn. They may place their meeple in any location on the road between the first space and the inn. We choose to place here and take the pink encounter. More on that later, but once we resolve the encounter, it will be the next player's turn. That's the blue player as their last. They move ahead. You may only place in off-road locations like this in 4 and 5 player games. Play proceeds with the last player moving and resolving their location. The location effects are, at the black shop you draw 3 item cards and can buy any number of them for the coin cost shown. These score points by collecting sets with different types of items. The yellow farm gives you 3 coins as you help the farmer out with manual labor. These 3 locations represent 3 different panoramas. When you land at one, you claim the first card in the sequence. The 3 different panoramas have different lengths, and you may only complete one of each, but the first player to complete each one gains a bonus card. The teal hot spring location has you draw a card with either 2 or 3 points. The red temple space makes you donate 1, 2 or 3 coins to the temple. At the end of the game, the player who donated the most will score more points as shown here, and you must have at least 1 coin to stop at the temple. The pink encounter location lets you draw an encounter card. These encounter cards have different effects, including gaining points or money. Each player must stop once they reach the inn, and you have to wait for all other players to catch up. Then deal out food cards equal to the number of players plus 1. The first player starts food purchasing. They are all worth 6 points and have different costs, and you may not buy a card you already got at a previous inn, and you don't have to buy a food card. Some player abilities, like this one here, trigger at inns. With the Matsuri expansion, you would also resolve an event as well. This one would trigger endgame goal scoring immediately, and those endgame goals are having the most encounters, the most expensive food, the most items, and the most hot spring cards. Once everyone is eaten, the last player starts the next leg of the journey. Why would you like this game? There are very few games where my opinion of them oscillates so wildly as Tokaido. Some days I barely consider it a game, and other times I consider it one of the most delightful and pleasant gaming experiences available. And that's because it's both these things, and on the positive side, it's a gorgeous looking game, but its delightfulness is rooted in what you're doing. You're moving down the road, taking in the scenery, visiting hot balls, buying souvenirs and eating donburi. And that's just pleasant. And while it's a competitive game, you're really competing over who had the most pleasant trip. And that makes it the sort of game pretty much anyone can find fun and relaxing. And it is a very easy recommendation for family game night. The best thing about this game is completing the panoramas. It's just a lovely little thing to do. However, a brain-melting strategy game this is not. In fact, most of the time you will just move to the next available space because every space offers something, and taking more actions is almost always better than rushing down the path. It's just not a game you can take too seriously. For another game with painting panoramas, try Eternal Palace. And for another cute game about Japan, try Takanoko. Tokaido. It's an actual cozy game. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the notification button, like, share, and subscribe to the channel.